All right, folks, we're going to try this one again. Back for a part 2 Q&A session from tonight's live show. Okay, I just had a couple more points to get to before I cut out of nowhere. My screen just went black. I don't know what just happened to my computer. They're trying to come after me, maybe. I don't know. We were dropping too much heat. But I'm going to give everybody a minute to get back into the show here real quick. I'm going to share this one out real quick. If everybody could help me out by liking this video, sharing it out far and wide, I'd greatly appreciate that. Let everybody know that we are back for another live show. I'm going to try to share this one out real quick. Q&A session coming up here. Just shared it in the Discord group. And I'm going to drop it on X real quick. Okay, there we go. Man, it's always something, I swear. It's working now. Perfect. Perfect. We are back. Are we back, chat? Can you guys let me know? YouTube, X, is everybody here with us? I've never had this happen before. My monitor just went black, but my monitor was on. My computer was on. The webcam stayed on, but my screen went black and I couldn't see or do anything. And so I had to literally unplug my computer, hard restart. We're back here. My screen, I was getting ready to fire back up the stream again, and my screen was glitching out a little bit here. So we're going to see what happens here. We're going to try to get out a little Q&A session, finish off. We were having a really good time. I'm kind of bummed out because I was hitting my stride. And then we got, Crypto Sensei made a video about you featuring the market multiplier. I'm glad to see that that's spreading. I'm glad to see that that's getting more awareness. Absolutely. Shannon says, whew, I almost had to drink alone. I did get myself another. Shane says, refilled and ready. We're back. We're back. We never left. We're not going anywhere either. We didn't leave during the bear market. We're not going to leave once we go to the moon. I know some people are losing doubt that we're heading to the moon. Give us some nuggets. Okay, so I had a few more things to cover, and then we were going to get into our Q&A session. So I'm going to get right on into it right here. I have the Brad Garlinghouse interview from yesterday queued up to go. Just going to play a couple minutes of that. The overall interview was about 15 minutes long, and I would encourage everybody to check it out because it's just like full update from Brad, and he did a great job of representing. And there's a couple key takeaways too that I'm going to mention here shortly. I'm just giving everybody a minute to get back in. The aliens did. They tried to get me. The aliens showed up outside my house, and I told them, not tonight. Just not tonight. No, not tonight. I did actually, when I went to go grab another adult beverage, refill us up, I did go see the wifey had passed out. She had the red light on her. She's going to be mad that I'm exposing her. She had the red light on her, and she was conked out. So wifey's asleep, so we can party all night, basically. No curfew tonight. So we're going to be here for a while. Aliens. What a journey we've been on together, huh? Okay. Let's go. I'm just laughing because it's just been so fun. You guys, it's always something interesting. Never a dull moment here. Never a dull moment. Okay. So where I left off was talking about entering the golden age, as I titled the episode, the golden age for XRP. And I mentioned that the DeFi on the XRP ledger was going to start to explode here. It's already started. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to is conducting due diligence for our community. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to give you financial advice and tell you not to invest or to invest in any of these DeFi programs. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll show you when I make money, when I lose money. I need to put together my AMM update because I now know I made money when I invested in the AMM. I made about 70%, but I could have made about 400% had I just held XRP. So that was a learning lesson. But as I knew going in, and I reported to you guys, hey, I'm going to sacrifice some XRP into the AMM so I can report back to you guys and let you know how it goes. Now, thankfully, I only sacrificed about 10 XRP, and so it really wasn't that much. But I learned an important lesson, right? And that's how we learn, is you throw a little bit in there, you get a little skin in the game, and you can start to watch it and see how it plays out. After a year, I got clear numbers by investing in the XRP casino coin pairing on the AMM pool. I had made 70% on my money. Now, 70% return on investment's nothing to complain about. In the TradeFi space, I mean, we would be bragging about 70%. And that's a point, too, before I continue, that we should laugh about real quick. The fact that 70% on the AMM, my return on investment, cash on cash return, 70% in 1 year time. TradeFi, we would be ecstatic. We would be telling everybody about this. But in the cryptocurrency space, as an XRP investor, I look and I do the math. Well, I could have made 400% had I just held XRP. And obviously, I would have had to time off my selling of that XRP to realize that profit, but you get the point. And that's why we talk about impermanent loss when investing in the AMMs. And so as we start to see these DeFi programs come out, I'm excited to, sacrifice some of my XRP to these DeFi programs. I am a very long ways away from giving any considerable amount of XRP to any of these platforms. Like, I'll just be honest with you guys. Before anybody's getting like 1,000 XRP or a 5,000 or a 10,000 XRP from me, we're going to have to see you put up some numbers. And really, it's not so much I want to get paid 50% on my money. I want sustainability. This is the part of my portfolio that's going to be conservative, sustainable, passive income. That's what this part of my portfolio is about. This is not about, hey, I'm investing this today and we're going to go knock one out of the park for a 3x, a 5x, or a 10x. That's not what this part of my portfolio is going to be about when I go into XRP DeFi. It's going to be about, don't put my XRP at risk, allow the XRP to appreciate while allowing my XRP to be leveraged and spit me out a yield in the meantime. So I'm getting cash on my investment right now. I'm getting that passive income right now, while also allowing the underlying asset to appreciate, not exposing it to somebody who's going to rip me off, take my XRP and lose my XRP. Right? This is going to be very important for us to conduct our due diligence. Zach, did you see the Watcher Guru post? Real quick before I started up the live here, I did check Twitter, and I did see that. I saw that Alex Cobb posted that. Let me pull it up real quick. I saw that Alex Cobb posted that. Very, very interesting. And thank you for that massive 20 spot there. I really appreciate that. Babs McGee, thank you. Swift nearing agreement with Ripple to use XRP for cross-border payments with billions of XRP secured in escrow as liquidity reserves. This was posted and then deleted, apparently. Facebook and X account hacked at the same time? Alex Cobb is calling BS. Either tricked by fake source not willing to admit it, or someone requested that the post be taken down. This is on their Facebook too. Watcher Guru. What happened here? And why have we seen so much of this in the XRP community? So many price glitches, so many things like this, just so many weird things. I mean, we got to deal with David Schwartz posting pictures of bears. We like bears. We like riddles. It's kind of fun. And it really has made this journey so interesting. And I've been talking about this for a while, guys. Every other crypto community wishes that they had our lore, our narratives, our story, the riddles, the conspiracies. Everybody else wishes that they had this. It's actually a positive for XRP. Now, it's been painful having to go through the rough part of this conspiracy against us, but we finally have broken free. And that's why I remain so bullish on where we're at and the direction that we're heading. But what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this post from Watcher Guru saying that Swift is about to secure a significant amount of XRP through the escrow and that they are nearing an agreement to use XRP for cross-border payments? Now, I've long said that I think that Swift is going to basically have interoperability with multiple blockchains. It's not just going to be XRP. I think that XRP is perfectly positioned and it is 100% in the lead. No other digital asset is in a better position to take market share or to, integrate with the Swift network than XRP. It's not even close, because you have established on-demand liquidity corridors from Ripple that have already fired up, and they've already started to build that up. And all it takes is giving a little bit of XRP to those strategic partners, getting XRP into the right hands. You start to flip some switches and you move that liquidity to the XRP ledger. It gets pretty exciting. And the interesting thing is that we've got that AMM clawback, so assets like RLUSD and others can now be added to the AMMs as well. So if you wanted to source the liquidity, not just from the XRP ledger DEX, but actually the AMM as well, this is where you can find the best liquidity in the world. Now, this is very interesting though, this post that dropped here tonight. But let me get back to the points that I was trying to make, and then I want to get into Q&A. Okay, because I wanted to get to rapid fire Q&A. I got myself another adult beverage, so we're going to have some fun here tonight. Doppler Finance is on it. XRP 5 batch 3 and yield generation 24 hours left. Now, they have already raised over $1 million. I think their first fund was a few $100,000. Then they raised a couple million. And I don't know how much this batch is going to be, but they are raising their third batch for yield generation. And they are taking your XRP and they are promising a return, or at least promising an effort to produce a return. Now, I went to their website and I was doing a little bit of due diligence on their platform here today, and it's just very basic what they have on their website. The first XRP Fi transform idle XRP into active XRP, into an active asset, I should say. And they call this term here CDFI, which is a term that I've never seen used before other than by them. I mean, centralized DeFi, that doesn't really make much sense, does it? But they elaborate and they generally cover kind of what they're doing here to generate your XRP yield, but they don't go into in-depth. Where is the yield coming from? What are the real strategies? So you got the website right here. Liquid staking tokens created for XRP and XRP sidechain tokens on Doppler can be utilized across various DeFi services within the XRP Ledger ecosystem. So it looks like they created a token. They have a liquid staking program. You can use this token on other sidechains. And this is how they're going to generate a yield, or one of the ways. Users can maximize the yield generated from Doppler by leveraging DeFi opportunities such as leverage staking through lending protocols. Okay? But this is where they explain. Our mission is to activate the XRP on-chain ecosystem with diverse high-yield opportunities and bring XRP liquidity on-chain. Now, what's crazy to me is how quickly they were able to raise the XRP that they did without really showing much as to how they would generate that yield. But I'm not saying yet that this program's not going to work out. I just find it interesting how they were able to accumulate, and have millions of XRP sent to them without really going into detail on what their plan would be. Now, I'm not just saying this. I went to their documents, and this is the type of due diligence that I'm talking about. And if you don't want to do it, the good news is that you got me. I'm going to do it. So if you want to sit back and relax and enjoy the show, that's great. You can get it from me. But as I've mentioned here, I'm not going to give you financial advice or tell you not to do it or to do it. So you're going to have to take what I give you and you're going to have to explore further. But I actually went to their documents because I have one question and one question only. And my question should be able to be answered in one simple sentence. This is the standard that I would ask you guys to apply to any DeFi protocol before you give them your XRP or any other assets. Can you explain where the yield comes from in one sentence? If you can't explain where the yield comes from in one sentence, For me, I'm probably going to pass you up because it should be that simple of an explanation. Of course, there's more details, there's some nuance, but for the most part, you should be able to explain to me with one sentence where this yield is coming from. So I went to their documents. Here's what I found. Let's take a look at it. Let me zoom in a little bit further so you guys can see this. Yield generation and distribution. Here's how they get it. Experienced quant operators employ institutional grade strategies aiming to produce steady returns. Generated yield then flows back through the custody wallet and ultimately back to the depositors. That's it. That's it. Now on their website and in some of their tweets, they post how they were financed by Ripple. They were given grant money by Ripple. And as I mentioned in the first part of this live show before the stream got killed, Ripple's stuck between a rock and a hard place because they give money to a project. If the project fails, Ripple shouldn't have given them money. Ripple gives money to a project, and even if they're successful, somebody else wishes that they would have got that grant money. So Ripple can't win no matter what they do. And then they get projects like this that are touting, hey, we got funded by Ripple, you can trust us. And if anybody from Doppler is listening, please understand, I just want to see the details. I just want to see a little bit more. I think that this goes for Doppler, and this goes for anybody that's building out a DeFi protocol. You need to show where the yield's coming from. You need to break this down, at least before you're going to get my money, before you get my XRP. I don't just accept that you have some quant operators that are going to generate yield. Who are they? What's the resume? What's the LinkedIn? What's the past performance? What's the strategy now? We're investing in a new reality, in a golden age reality for certain assets. What's the strategy? What's the plan? And to me, it's not enough to say experienced quant operators will employ institutional grade strategies. I know plenty of institutions with literally hundreds of billions of unrealized losses, trillions, not hundreds of trillions, but hundreds of billions and trillions of unrealized losses on their balance sheet. Do they have experienced quant operators employing institutional grade strategies within their institution? Yes. How's that program working out? For Bank of America, 100 billion unrealized losses on their bonds. Do you think that they have some pretty good quant traders, quant operators? Do you think that they have some of the most sophisticated algorithms and bots to feed? Absolutely. How's that program working out? They're still down 100 billion. So before you get my XRP, telling me that you got a quant operator is not going to cut it. And on behalf of the XRP community, I think it's actually disrespectful that we don't get more. Kind of actually gets me a little worked up. The fact that, literally, these guys are collecting millions of XRP and they haven't shown us anything as how this yield will be generated. I'm glad that Ripple gave them some money. Let's see what you can do. I'm not going to be mad that Ripple gave you money if you fail. But I am going to be mad if you fail by not having a program that actually is sustainable, and you were able to amass and take in millions of XRP with false promises and blanket general statements like this. To me, that's not acceptable. It's actually disrespectful to me. To literally think that that's enough for me to give you my XRP is disrespectful. If I sat down at a dinner with somebody on the other side that was selling me this product, I would laugh them off out of this dinner. I would say, are you freaking kidding me? You think that this is going to work with me? And I encourage you guys to have a similar perspective and approach to all of these DeFi programs. There's a lot of people coming out of the woodworks promising you a return on your XRP. And I'm really trying to hammer this point home because I see millions of XRP leaving the hands of the XRP community and going into these DeFi programs without them showing how it's generated. And I want this to work. Anybody from Doppler Finance that is listening to me rant about you, I'm just trying to provide positive feedback And I'm trying to explain what it's going to take for investors like me to invest in your platform. And I would love to believe that you have experienced quant traders that are going to deploy institutional grade strategies to make us money. I would love to believe that. But hope is not a strategy, as my mentor Dan Pena told me. And so I just wanted to bring up Doppler tonight to show you one example. These DeFi programs are coming, but before they get my XRP, we need to see a little bit more. Now, what do I think about Coin Depot? I don't know what that is. Put another log on that fire, Zach. No, we're cooking. We're going to be here for a minute. If you guys haven't already, please help me out. We already lost a lot of viewers because our stream got killed. So please like this video. Please share it out. Let people know we're back live. Let's go Q&A after I get through a couple more, just one more point here. And then I want to play Brad Garlinghouse real quick. The big misconception about XRP circulating supply and inflation. This is from Panos. Here is the fact. All XRP that will ever exist has been in circulation since day one, and there is no inflation. Period, full stop. In June of 2012, XRP Ledger went officially live after months of development by its 3 core developers, David Schwartz, Arthur Brito, and Jed McCaleb. And 100 billion XRP was created. The Genesis wallet was open, and anyone could take as much XRP as they wanted from that wallet. That's how open source XRP was. Anybody could have taken XRP from that wallet. Months later, Chris Larsen joined them, and Ripple Labs, initially called OpenCoin, was formed. Now, he explains how billions of XRP, 50 billion plus XRP, was put into the escrow. And here's the point that he's making right here. Now, CoinMarketCap back then decided to exclude the XRP that was put into escrow from circulation. But why? Everything was already in circulation. These XRP have been moved and used since 2012, and the most important part, there are many other escrows by other XRP Ledger users and accounts. So why did CoinMarketCap and other tracking websites decide to only count Ripple and not the rest? He's explaining that the escrow feature is open and available for anybody to use, and other XRP Ledger users have put their XRP away in escrow. You got XRP holders like myself that have put XRP in a cold storage wallet, and I've buried it in my backyard, and it never gets dug up. Other than when it's time to hand off the keys to the kiddos, as long as they behave themselves. There's some stipulations that come with it. Okay, we run a tight ship over here. Not everybody gets a participation trophy. Okay, we're gonna have to get something done, and then you'll get a little baggie of XRP. Okay, that XRP is considered circulating. The XRP that I've buried, but I'm most likely never gonna sell it. No, I'm not saying that CoinMarketCap should list that XRP as not circulating. I'm just exemplifying the point here. What really is circulating and what's not circulating. The XRP that's in the escrow technically is circulating. It's already in existence. It's already there. There was no mining. Right? This XRP was pre-mined, even though it wasn't even mined. It was just created, right? And it's been in circulation since day one. Just because it's locked up within basically a smart contract on the XRP ledger doesn't mean it's not circulating. It is. If we are to exclude escrow tokens out of circulation, which makes sense until they are unlocked, that's okay. If that's the standard that we are going to roll with, that's fine. Then we should count all escrows. Why only Ripples? So either you count all or none. And what would be interesting too, we're going to get smart escrow feature programmability actually expanded, and it's going to get a little bit more advanced later this year as we roll out smart escrow and smart features on the XRP ledger. We're basically getting smart contracts light on the XRP ledger later this year. So you're going to see folks like myself. I'm heavily looking at this, really considering the escrow feature for myself, preserving that XRP. For multiple reasons. But when I do lock up some XRP in the escrow, when some of you guys lock up some XRP in escrow, is CoinMarketCap going to go around and include our XRP still is circulating? Yes. Unlike Ripple's XRP and escrow, which they are not including as circulating. What's interesting is that we just got on platforms like Dex Screener back like 2 months ago. And so not only have we been getting misrepresented, we've been misrepresented in 589 different ways, literally. We're finally just got onto Dex Screener, even though the XRP ledger had the first Dex back in 2012. And so the point that I'm trying to get across here is that it is up to us, myself and you guys, to spread the truth about XRP and to call on these platforms to at least just provide a basic standard that they're going to stick to and apply to everybody. Stop suppressing and manipulating the facts and misinforming people on XRP. That's all we're asking. Apply a standard and stick to it. This has been in debate for years, but the answer is clear. Everything, 100% of the supply, has been circulating since the beginning. Just because some users decide to use the native features of the network to do different things doesn't change anything. And you can't justify arbitrarily choosing to count only one user and one project. It's a great point. Now, to bring us to our final point here before I get into Q&A, I want to show you here this clip from Brad Garlinghouse because he speaks directly to the question about this supply of XRP and how Ripple is going to distribute it. Okay? Let's listen in here real quick. Oh, I got to refresh this. It's back here. Here we go.
Regulation. We don't want
of lighter oversight and the cart before the horse question. Do you think that people are getting a little ahead of themselves and listing things that shouldn't be listed?
Well, look, I don't think about it as lighter regulation because, frankly, I think the industry wants to be regulated. And what we've been saying for years as an industry is we just want clear regulation. We don't want lawsuits just claiming one thing and the next week contradicting themselves, which is exactly what Gensler's SEC was doing. So I think just the fact that we have an SEC who's trying to work constructively, instead of trying to sue more companies, let's actually work and let's codify and get legislation to provide that clarity.
But again, if you don't have that clarity, what you saw years ago was an ICO boom where tons of things that were raising money never worked out for the people that were buying the tokens or the coins.
Look, I agree, and I said then that I think of it some of these ICOs were a lot more like IPOs. They were securities. The problem is the SEC then kind of used that to just blanket and say, I mean, well, Gensler said before he was SEC chair, he didn't think they were securities. And then after he became SEC chair, is kind of his power grab. Gensler wanted everything under his jurisdiction. So I think obviously that ICO boom went away, and there's lots of ways this government can regulate and manage fraud and manage criminal activity. And that did happen. People did go to jail.
I have one more question for you about Ripple and XRP in particular on the supply and how it's managed and the unlocks. Is there anything you would do to change the amount of supply brought to market? Can you do that? How does that exactly work? Because there is a level of dilution for XRP when more supply is brought in on a regular basis.
So this is one of the things I'm glad you asked about, because there's frankly misinformation and sometimes disinformation, people spreading falsehoods out there. The amount of XRP that was created in 2012 when it was first started, when that blockchain was first started, was 100 billion units. That can't be increased. It's slightly deflationary, and now there's about 99.9 billion units. Ripple owns about 42% of that supply. We have had, and for, I guess, 8 years, we published something called the XRP Markets Report, where we share how much we are introducing into the market, because we want that to be predictable. And that has been the case for many years now. And so we will continue to make sure that's very predictable. At some point, maybe we won't be selling as much. We'll see how that plays out in the future. But right now, frankly, we get criticized for owning too much, and then we're criticized for selling some. But we want to do that in a constructive way, which is what we've done for years.
And that's the point that I was trying to get across here, is that Ripple's in this tough spot where if they give money away, funds and grants
on 1,100 acres in the middle of the Arizona desert, only
what ultimately happens is the developers that they give that XRP to usually end up selling it for cash to fund operations, and so it provides more sell pressure on XRP. That's a negative. If the company, 9 out of 10 businesses fail, it's just a fact. So if the company fails, then everybody criticizes them on that. But then if they sell some XRP, then they're criticized for selling XRP, even though they haven't sold XRP programmatically on exchanges since Q3 of 2019. This is a very important fact that is missed, covered up, and is actually misrepresented by the media in large. This narrative that Ripple's been dumping on us, I've said it's not possible because they're not selling to exchanges. They're not selling to retail. They're only selling to institutional partners. But will this last forever? As he just said in this interview here, this is one of the key takeaways from this interview that I got, was the fact that he said that this isn't going to always be the case. We know, actually, they've said in previous interviews and statements that they want to hold on to a chunk of XRP. How much is that? I'm not going to speculate on that, but it's very clear. They have a distribution plan that is to sell off and get rid of XRP in a way that is net neutral to XRP price. And they have been doing that. This is what we want. What's the tweet that Watcher Guru just put out? Swift is going to acquire XRP from the escrow, and they're going to be using XRP for cross-border payments. Is that real? Is it not? It's the type of news that I do expect to see down the road, whether it's Swift or other institutions. You're seeing that they're acquiring XRP to hold as a reserve. You're seeing that they're using XRP for on-demand liquidity. In that case, they might not even need to hold XRP, which actually makes the offering more appealing for those that are just trying to dip their toes into the water. Once again, who's the best positioned in this space to hold the hand of these institutions as they try to come into the cryptocurrency space? It's Ripple by far, because not only can they provide you liquidity, they can provide you custody, and they also give you the optionality with the stablecoin as well. Once the programmability on the XRP ledger expands, they'll be able to add smart contract, full functionality, and programmability on the XRP ledger as well. You see what we're building towards? You see what's at the end of this pathway? If you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel by now, I don't know what you're looking at. You're blind. Okay, we need to take the blinds off. We need to wake up, and smell the coffee. Okay, because we are on the precipice of the golden age of XRP. Today's price has nothing to do with it. It's the complete opposite of the point that I'm trying to get across. Why do you think I haven't shown you a price chart today in this live show tonight? Well, because the price is going down and we don't need that negativity. But what did I just drop in my last video, XRP timeline? Right? I explained the dates that we got coming up, the timeline that we have coming up. The key theme, as I mentioned at the start of the live show tonight, uncertainty. The tariffs go into effect on April 2nd. That's Liberation Day. The next date after that is the April 7th or 8th, I think I mentioned, is when we should be getting the Fed minute meetings, or the Fed meeting minutes. Sorry. That's going to give us more insight into the psychology of the Fed right now. And the big thing that I noted that we should be looking for is the reduction in quantitative tightening. That's exactly what we got. What's the date after that? Is going to be April 16th is when the Ripple appeal brief is due. Are we even going to get that, or is it going to be a settlement in the case? That's a big date to watch out for. Someone in the comments had pointed out that we also have March 27th. Is Paul Atkins getting confirmed, or the hearing to confirm Paul Atkins takes place in the Senate Banking Committee? Tim Scott saying that that is going to be March 27th. So that's a confirmed date next week, right? And so we have this moment here with macro timeline events converging with the XRP timeline, the SEC case set to end. Once again, I told you guys, there's a lot of people out here that don't have foresight like we do. They don't have intuition, they don't trust their gut, and they don't stand for anything, in large part, besides maybe some silly stuff, some virtue signaling and silly stuff and being politically correct. That program might not work out for them, but we tried to help them out. For those of us that are willing to take a stand, have an analysis, have a thesis, share that openly, and put our money where our mouth is, invest in that thesis, it's now starting to pay off because we're investing before the news hits. And we invested in XRP knowing that it was going to be in a reserve before Trump put out the post. Before Trump let us know that XRP was going to be in the reserve, we've been talking about XRP being in the reserve. Before the case officially ends, we got the heads up from Stuart Alderati that the case was over. So I started reporting that the case was over. That it was just technicalities to wrap up. This case is done. Yesterday, we get it from Brad Garlinghouse. The case is over. There are still people right now that are saying that the case is not over. Well, Zach, technically speaking, case is not over. Technically speaking, man, I can't make a move yet because the case is not officially over. This is the mindset of some people. And they wonder why they never hit it out of the park in their investments. Because you're not willing to make an investment based off of a thesis that's been developed upon years of research and due diligence that we are conducting right now. Whether it's due diligence that we're conducting on DeFi protocols, or it's due diligence that we're been doing in XRP for the past 6 years. For those of us that have, there is no uncertainty over here. There is no uncertainty with why the broader economy is weak. There is no uncertainty for why the stock market's coming back down towards a fundamental valuation. There's no uncertainty as to why XRP is up at $2.40 and holding this $2 level. There's a massive buy wall at $2. This is not complicated. Why is XRP struggling to break out? Because it's still being manipulated by the same market makers that are behind controlling Bitcoin and Ethereum. The main tool that they use is Tether. This is not complicated. This is all still 2 + 2 = 4. Why is XRP not at $5 today? We explained. There was already plenty of orders on the books to sell XRP at these levels. There's plenty of people that are tired of XRP, and there's plenty of people that just don't believe in XRP yet, so there's money not coming into the asset yet. This all changes as ETFs go live, as the headline actually hits and it can be officially confirmed and everybody can feel safe. Okay, it's okay to get into XRP now. President Trump did confirm it's going to be a reserve. I guess Zach and all these crazy XRP community members aren't so crazy after all. Boy, is it paying off to be a conspiracy theorist, isn't it? It is paying damn well. Okay, now I know CNN told me that the SEC officially dropped the case. I can move in. Charlie Gasparino told me that XRP is now viewed by the SEC as passing the Ethereum decentralized test. I can finally move in. Let me march into my XRP investment now that it's safe. That's why you missed the 5-bagger. That took us from 50 cents to $3. That's why you missed the 10-bagger that took us when we were investing in 20 cents during the depths of this struggle to where we are at right now at $2. And as this XRP goes up even higher, then that return compounds even further. The 5x and the 10x that we hold now turns into a 20x and more. And it is coming. I have no doubt about that. With that being said, I want to get into Q&A. I appreciate you guys for coming back here with me. We had our part 1 of the live show. Now we got part 2. I wanted to get all these points across because the community's on edge when we should be celebrating. We should be celebrating right now. Not because of XRP price. Once again, did I show you a chart tonight? No. We don't need to look at it. It's not relevant to what we're covering in tonight's episode. That price chart's going to get relevant here shortly, though. It's going to get real relevant here shortly. When we break up into all-time high. Can't blame people for being cautious. And they have nobody to blame but themselves for when they don't hit it big out of the park. It's just that simple. If you want to be cautious, if you want to be safe, crypto's probably not for you in general. But this is why you're not going to knock it out of the park. You'd be too scared to invest in private equity. You'd be too scared to invest in crypto. We want to be cautious. And let me be clear. There's a difference between cautious approaching with due diligence and then making your investment. And then there's the people that I'm talking about are the type that literally won't do anything until CNN tells them it's time to do the next thing, the next trend. If TikTok's not telling them, if CNN's not telling them, or if it's on the other spectrum, if it's Fox Business, oh, that Charlie Gasparino, I sure like him. Charlie's a good guy. He says that XRP passes the ETH decentralization test. Now I can move into XRP after, the fundamentals have been there. But with that being said, hey, I don't want to waste any more time ranting. I want to get right on into your guys' Q&A. I want to get right on into it. Charlie said it's safe. It's okay to come in. Thoughts on Supra, autonomous DeFi? I don't really like stuff like that with these crazy new terms. Decentralized science. That was a narrative, a small one. I'm not really too big on stuff like this personally. XRP's at 242 now. Now that I'm done ranting, I'll show you the XRP chart. 242. We did close out the day in the red. We're starting a new day here right now on XRP. Okay. We did have a red day. Closed it off here at about $2.43. And we're at 242 right now. And somebody asked me, how low are we going? Well, I think that the bottom is in at $1.70. I do think that we have support here at $2. Could we still get hit by something else? Yes. I just laid out the timeline. As far as how low we'll go, well, we'll have to see where we're at when that event hits, whatever that may be. If that's Liberation Day, do we get some sort of event between now and Liberation Day, which is April 2nd, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the day that the Trump tariffs go live. Reciprocal tariffs against everybody. If you're going to tariff us, we're going to tariff you. That's the deal. And we're going live. April 2nd. And what's the market going to do? They're going to use that excuse to come back down, to push prices down. Even though US-based cryptos, there's no reason for anybody to be bearish on them. It has no correlation to what the tariffs are doing. And in fact, XRP would be a solution to get around the tariff, to not get around, but to get through the tariffs, to get through some of these issues. You get a neutral ledger and a neutral bridge currency. That's the solution to the tariff war. It really is. So how much lower do we go? I mean, I don't wait around too much here. I mean, be careful. Zebek, no, it's just such a small utility. It's not something that's really interesting me right now. I'm going to take a look at it. It'll probably be a quick look. It probably won't be like a full deep dive. Just because I feel like it's a small utility. It's a small problem that's being solved. It is considerable. Okay. Now, I do want to check some of the super chats. I did see that we got some super chats coming in. So let me take a quick look at that. Let me pull it up real quick. It won't be like a full deep dive. Okay. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you like this video. Help us out by sharing out our content. Okay. Majestic, thank you for the $8. I appreciate that. Selfless Vendors LLC, thank you for the $5. Hey, Zach, thanks for all you do for the community. Have you looked into Texture Capital Solotex powered by Sologenics? Yes, I watched the full interview that they did with Cointelegraph yesterday. As a matter of fact, ready to follow up. Now, what they're building sounds great. They say that they're going to go live with every stock day one, and that's they're expecting to roll out the initial first beta, like the beta program before it officially goes live. But the beta is supposed to come out here in Q2 or later summer. And then, well, actually, I think maybe even said that they want to go live with the full platform by later this summer. It's just pending regulatory approval. But what they're looking to do is this is Texture Capital, which is a FINRA regulated entity that is ready to list stocks, and they're partnering up with Sologenic. Now, if you watched my Sologenic deep dive, I mentioned this partnership and that we were going to be watching to see how this rolled out. Well, we got an update from them yesterday, the new CEO of Sologenic, Mike McCluskey, and the CEO of Texture Capital, which I can't remember his name, but I did watch the interview with Cointelegraph. The interviewer didn't know enough to ask the questions that I would have asked, is what I want to say. You know, he dug in a little bit to what they were cooking, but I don't think that he knew exactly where to press, you know, especially as it relates to the XRP community, because the main question that I'm kind of wondering right now is this platform, you know, it's going to be on chain. Is it going to be on the XRP ledger? Is it going to be blockchain agnostic? Is it going to be on Corium? Sologenic, the platform that they've created, is a UI DEX that's kind of built on top of the XRP ledger DEX. So basically, Sologenic created a UI similar to X Magnetic, similar to XP Market. Sologenic has more competition now, but it looks like they're partnering up with this Texture Capital, which is a FINRA regulated entity. And this could put them in the lead if they can have a platform that offers not only access to the XRP ledger DEX, but also access to your stocks. And they said that this is the main thing that their users want. And I know that I want this too, to have everything in one platform where I can trade from XRP to a stock, from that stock to private equity, from that private equity back to gold. And ideally, I'd like to see all these assets tokenized on the XRP ledger. You know, the main question that I have is, who's going to be issuing these stocks and some of the other products that they're going to offer? Like, is this something that, do they have any plans to issue some of these RWAs on chain? Are they going to partner up with others that are going to do it? Who's going to be bringing these assets on chain? That's obviously Texture Capital is in the position to list them as a FINRA registered entity. But I just have a few more questions on how that is actually going to roll out. But it's very bullish for Sologenic, and I love to see the direction that they're heading in. Absolutely. Your interview with Austin King was remarkable, with tons of insight of Ripple. Talk about bullish. Yeah, if you guys missed that one, I dropped it yesterday. Highly recommend everybody watch it. It's about 40 minutes long, but it's on point. Austin King, very smart. He sold his first company to Ripple. His first company was working on Interledger Protocol. Many of you guys know that. Interledger Protocol has been around for years, interoperability solution, and basically his first company was building on top of it. And Ripple bought his first company. He worked at Ripple for a year. Then he's left now, and he's formed a new network. He created an Omni network. Very smart guy. Very good insights. I'm glad the feedback that I'm getting from it is very good. So I do like that. Okay. Now, a couple other super chats. Let me catch up on them. Dennis, thank you for the 5 spot. Ripple could buy R3. They would use XRP, not XDC. More liquidity. Consensus not dependent on proof of stake. SBI owns 10% of each company. Logical. Yeah. Jake's right. SBI owns about 10% of Ripple. I think it's just shy. I'm not sure what the official tally is, but yes, SBI does own a considerable amount of Ripple, and I think that I don't know if they have any exposure to R3 though. Maybe they do. Okay. Let me check here. Silverado Man, thank you for the 5 spot, my friend. How confident are you? And let me finish that point, Dennis. Ripple's still in acquisition mode. Ripple is still in acquisition mode with cash on hand. They're not just talking about it. They're actually looking over these companies. Are they going to buy R3? It could be a good solution. It could be a good partnership. I don't see that happening just because they already went through that lawsuit and had that disagreement. So it's almost like they've agreed to go separate ways, but at the same time, R3 is still using XRP. And they still did get 1 billion XRP from Ripple. So it's like they went their separate ways, but R3 left with 1 billion XRP out of the deal. Not too bad. And they're still using XRP today. So, and what's interesting with R3 is that XRP was the first asset that was available for Corda Settler. Now it's blockchain agnostic. They lean towards XDC. But yeah, I'm interested to see what could happen with that deal with R3. Very interesting. How confident are you that we see a 4 to 5 digit XRP in the future? Silverado Man, that's a good question. I appreciate your $5 super chat. The problem with a 4 to 5 digit XRP for me is I think that the US dollar gets reset as a currency before we get there. So do I not believe in a 4 to 5 digit XRP? I believe that we're heading in that direction. I just believe that we get a currency reset before we get there. This is something I've talked about in the past. For any of you guys that have been around with me for a while, is I used to, and I still do talk about going to 4 to 5 digits. Like I don't rule out any high price targets for XRP because there's two parts to this equation. What's the fundamental value of XRP? Where's that going? And then how much is the US dollar going to be debased and devalued? You got to weigh both those things when answering this question. And it's a difficult thing to know. I mean, we could go Weimar Republic at any day. We have a president right now who's opening up his Pandora's box. He's willing to put everything on the table. I mean, you saw, he just eliminated the Department of Education today. Everything's on the table as far as cutting it away, as far as adding it to strategic reserves. Everything's on the table. Now, the dynamic, what it would take to actually get to 4 to 5 digits, we would have to see some big, big dominoes fall. And I'm of the firm opinion that the currency would be reset. The dollar as we know it would be reset before we get to $1,000 XRP or $10,000 XRP or anything crazy like that. I mean, I literally think that we could even see a currency reset before we get to $100. Like in the $100 range, we could be at a currency reset level. Like we're right there. We have to do something. We know that. What's going to be done? There's two options. There's default or inflate your way out. If they go the inflation route, $1,000 XRP is not out of the cards because $100 for a loaf of bread is not out of the cards. That's a different reality. Once again, XRP's fundamental utility weighing on the scale versus the US dollar being debased. Okay. Why did I miss the other super chat? Dennis, thank you. Gold is going to be repriced. The document is public. Yeah. It seems like they're slow rolling this one out. Yeah. They're slow rolling the revaluation of gold. And that's what I mean as far as the currency being reset. Gold's being reset against the dollar and against every other major currency. So is $100 XRP impossible? Is $1,000 XRP impossible? Absolutely not. So to your question, Silverado Man, and the super chat that you gave me, how confident am I in a 4 to 5 digit XRP? The only reason why I think that we don't see it is because we get a currency reset before we get there. That's really the only reason. How confident am I in XRP going to very high prices, $50, $100, compared to the question that you always have to ask is compared to what? Compared to the US dollar as we know it right now, we easily could go to $50 and $100 XRP. Compared to the US dollar as we know it now, what's it going to take to go to 1,000 or 10,000? A lot. Now, a lot less than what some people would think. Some people will do the market cap calculation and they'll say, that we need however much to come into XRP to get there. That's not how it works. And we've explained that in detail with the market cap multiplier. So I hope that answers your question. Property One Vegas, thank you for the $58.90. I appreciate that. Zach, can you do a Q&A on Quant, or did I miss that one? Quant's been lagging, and I've not invested in Quant because I haven't seen enough people using it. So I need to do a deep dive on Quant, and it's on my list. I'll try to get to it here soon. And the thing with Quant is It's in the right place. It's talking to the right people. It's working with the right institutions. But I need to see these institutions actually using the token, actually holding the token before I feel like it really has something cooking over there. There's a big difference between consulting and actually getting somebody to accumulate your token and hold your token and use your token. Very big difference between consulting versus actual adoption. So that's where I'm at with Quant. Okay, it's lagging price-wise. Out of all of the utility tokens, it's lagging. Could it still go up to a few $100 this bull run? Absolutely. I would not expect Quant to break above 400 to 500 this bull run. That's as high as I see it going. Okay. Now, there's another super chat that I want to circle back to. Patrick Young, thank you for the 50 spot Canadian. I was not going to pass over this question. I was just waiting to circle back to it. Very important. Patrick asked me, are you getting compensated by Link2 to give it a positive endorsement despite the change in management? No, I am not being paid by Link2. I am not sponsored by anybody. I am self-funded by the products and services that I bring about, the content that I provide for free, and the community that appreciates and uses our resources, watches our content. That's how I get paid. Full transparency. I don't have any sponsors. I do have my affiliate links. And full transparency, I did used to plug the Link2 link down below. And I'll be honest with you guys. I had about 10 referrals. There was about 10 referrals. And the way that the Link2 program worked out is you received about 1,000 Link2 bucks for each person that you referred and that made an investment. And so on the Link2 platform, I had about 10,000 Link2 bucks, but I never ended up investing. And so I never got to use them. And to use that 10,000 in Link2 bucks that I had accumulated, you could only use 10% towards any one investment. So if I wanted to use all 10,000 of my Link2 bucks, I would have had to invest 100 grand with Link2. And I wasn't going to do that. And so I passed on Link2 investments completely. I never did invest. And I never have received a dime from Link2. The reason why I had them linked up down below is because we wanted to provide a resource for the community to get access to private equity. But with all our links, I ask you guys to conduct your own due diligence, to look at these platforms and see if they're going to be the right fit for you. Some of these platforms I use, some of these platforms I don't use, but one of the things that I'm always going to try to do is to provide good resources to our community. The thing about Link2 is it's too early to tell how this is going to play out. There's a lot of people that are jumping the gun, I think, and that are wanting to say that this is the worst thing ever, that they stole our money and we're never going to get paid out. We need to see this thing through. Now, when I looked over it, it did look pretty legit to me, but without reviewing their documents, reviewing all the contracts, and without knowing their books, I'm not in a position, and nobody else who doesn't have that information is in a position to speak on the status of Link2 and how that equity was held. From my understanding, the equity was held in SPVs, special purpose vehicles, which are separate entities outside of Link2 that would be safe from any issue that came about with Link2. So if Link2 ceases to exist, you would still have access to your private equity. What was Link2 trying to do? Democratize private equity. Trying to get access to the regular person for private equity. Now, we will see what comes of this situation, but since you asked the question, and I know people have been wanting to know what's going on, I wish I could tell you more. All I can tell you is my participation, which was at a certain time for a small amount of time. It was a link that we had down below because we wanted to bring resources like this to our community. This is what we do. And I never received a dime from them. They've never been a sponsor of mine. I've never received a dime. And I never even got to use my Link2 bucks. So I haven't received anything from Link2. Okay. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to ask them. I'm open. I can talk about all of this. Okay? So I know some people are in a spot where they can't talk about it. And I know that this can be frustrating. I can only imagine. And I'm going to see this one out with you guys too. I will report when we get the facts. There's a lot of people that are jumping and trying to spread FUD, trying to say that this was a scam the whole time. No, not from what I see. And there's a lot of people speaking on this who don't understand how this works. Now, I'll let everything play out. Innocent till proven guilty is how we operate in the United States of America. But for anybody wondering about me, no, they were never a sponsor. I never received a dime from them. I've never received a dime from anybody. Okay? I don't have sponsors. I get asked every day. I've probably missed out on hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay? That's okay. Because I like being in a spot where I'm non-biased, where if I figure out one of the community resources that we have linked up down below, if they start to do some stuff that I don't like, I can call them out. A great example of that's Coinbase. I have Coinbase linked up down below. I bash and roast Coinbase all the time, but I still use their platform. And, you know, I still know what I want to get out of Coinbase, and so I still use them. But I'm very pissed off that they stole my songbirds still to this day. I'm not going to forgive them for that. But as always, I'm going to keep it transparent. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. And I really hope you appreciate that. Thank you. Zach has too much integrity. That's why I'm here. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Okay. Let me get back here. We got a few other super chats that came in. Let me scroll up here. Desert Vibes, Cheryl, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that massive 50 spot. Add this to the kiddos XRP starter kit. I will make sure to do that. Although they have to behave themselves, okay? That's the deal, Cheryl. They have to behave themselves. Okay? Which they do. They do. That's part of the reason why I was running late tonight. These kiddos, I was trying to help wifey put them down. My son, he was having a full meltdown. I'm like, what is your problem, dude? I get him. I got his milk. I got him in his sleep sack. He didn't want to sit on the bed, so I picked him up. I'm holding him, and he's still crying. And then wifey brings in his little stuffy dinosaur. And he goes from wailing, screaming. He gets his little dinosaur, and he stops crying. These kids, man, it is always something fun. Yep. Let me get in the chat here real quick. Desert Vibe Cheryl, thank you for that. That's a massive 50 spot. I see we got another super chat, but let me get here real quick. I need to block this coin. Let's see if I can get this going here real quick, guys. Let me block this coin that they're showing in the chat right now. Real quick, community moderation. I have 207 words blocked on my YouTube. Most of them are scam tokens. So hopefully that worked. I blocked that token. There we go. There we go. I prefer a blankie. And that's what I was thinking. You know, I wasn't going to drop the joke tonight, but you guys know the one I've been saying here lately. You know, for the crybabies and the complainers and those who don't know what they hold, who are struggling here, we'll warm up the milk for you. We'll get you your sippy cup. We'll put you in your sleep sack. I got a nice little bedtime story to read you. And I'll make sure to get your stuffy, for crying out loud, okay? So stop the crying. I'm going to get it. Give me 1 second. Gosh, you know, that's why wifey's passed out too, is we were up last night. I got up the kids woke up at midnight, and basically I was up till 3 a.m. with them trying to get them to go back to sleep. And then wifey took over trying to get him to go back to sleep. Holy cow. Raising kids ain't for the weak, but it's absolutely worth it. I'll tell you that. Do you think that we'll see regulation before 222? So ISO 222 is already rolling out now. It's happening right now, and it's going to continue. Yeah. And the regulations are coming to kind of simultaneously, right? We're seeing that Trump wants stablecoin legislation and the market structure bill on his desk by June. So we got another super chat from XRP Pisces, XR Pisces, 5-spot. Loved your DAG deep dive. How about a deep dive on either Velo, SHX, or ZBCN? Yeah, I want to do both Velo and SHX for sure. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. SHX might have already topped out. I'm looking for it to go back to that level that it just went to. If I pull up the chart real quick, I can show you what that level is on the XEN chart. So XEN right now, it's down over 70% from that most recent high that it hit up at about 5 cents. That was a 4,000% move from the election to where we went right here. That was a 40x. So XEN, in my opinion, already, sorry. That is not the coin that you are asking about. You were asking about SHX. SHX, though, already did a massive extension out here. Let me measure from November. Yeah, about 500%. So we're retracing right now. You can see this bottom level is where I thought we could go to, and we did get pretty dang close. That 0.007, and I had my marker here at 0.0075. So we got really close to the level. And in fact, actually, we did break through because I put this level here at 8 cents. Or not 8 cents, but 0.008. So I'd already marked this level here. That's why I have these two horizontal lines right here. This is the level that I expected this retrace to come down to. And sure enough, we did pierce it. Now, we didn't come all the way down here to this low. So let me adjust this fib to where we did go down to. And then you can see on the high side, if we do get some sort of retracement, we could go top out maybe again at like 3.5 cents. I could see that coming in, maybe 5 cents. But that's basically the range that I'm expecting to exit my SHX on. Is basically 3.5 to 5 cents. The 1618 to the 2618 fib is where I'm looking for SHX to retrace to. Okay. But I'll provide more on the fundamentals. What they got cooking over there is pretty interesting. It is notable. And yeah, I will provide that along with Velo too. I know a lot of people have been asking about Velo. Yep. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to wrap up this session here now. I see another dang scammer in the chat. Let me make sure I block that after I get off this live show here. But guys, sorry for the disruption. I don't know what happened that killed our stream earlier. That was unfortunate. But I was glad to come on back here, enjoy a market update and a full Q&A with you guys. If there's anything else that you guys want, just let me know by reaching out at the website, zachrector.com. Make sure that you guys check out all of our community resources. And if you guys could help me out by liking all of our videos that you see, at least if you appreciate what we're doing. If you don't, you can always smack the thumbs down too. That's okay. But please do something for me. Please let me know, because I always do read all of your comments, and I really do appreciate the feedback. Not only is it a feedback loop as far as the community sentiment, but it also lets me know how I can improve my content. And I'm always just trying to up the game over here, and I really do hope that you appreciate it. So with that being said, zachrector.com for the community resources. I will see you guys again tomorrow. It's going to be Friday. We'll see how we close off this week for the stock market. I don't know if we have any good economic data points. I think that we have a real estate. There's a real estate data point that'll be dropping tomorrow. So maybe we'll talk about that in our market update. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by tonight. A lot of super chats, a lot of support, a lot of good questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless you all. And yes, the hats. Hats will be live by tomorrow, most likely. We're working on it right now. Okay? Hats will be live tomorrow. Okay? God bless you all.